Well, it's been a few days since I've made a video, and this is why. All this snow. So we got about a foot of snow on the ground, and it came Wednesday. It was blowing around, and most of it came Wednesday, and it started blowing around and got colder. So I scooped out a little bit on Wednesday, kind of got it cleaned out, and then it drifted over some more because these digibugs sit kind of on the north side of this building over here. You can't see it, and it's shadowed, so it doesn't get much sunlight. And and then the drift came in and drifted it back in, so I wanted to get them kind of broken out. And so today I worked on it for a little bit, got it all cleaned up, and started them up. The diesel didn't want to start. It did though. And then the other one's gas. It was fine. So just wanted to let them run for a little bit, let them sit out in the sun, because today it's a sunny day and it's not too bad out. But yeah, a lot of snow here in the Midwest, and it's moved eastward, and so a lot of people affected by this stuff. It's always good to be prepared. A lot of things changing, a lot of shortages, a lot of things you can't get, and I think it's just going to continue to get worse. So take stock, get what you need, and if you can get it, cool. That's another thing. I started thinking about with cryptocurrencies. You might be waiting for a coin to just go and skyrocket and moon up, and but the thing is, you got to look at where you got into it. I mean, if you got into a cryptocurrency affordably, and this thing goes up 10 times, and you can actually do something with it and get something that you want, and you think, no, I need it to go 50 times, or I know it's going to go this. Litecoin, for instance. All right, let's just take that, because that's what I know. Kind of. I don't know a lot. I know a little bit about everything. So, Litecoin, let's say you got into it at, last year, you bought in at like, I don't know, $60, $70. And, it went up $400 last May, and then it dropped down pretty low and went to like almost $300 in the fall and almost winter. And now it's sitting at like 115. All right, so if you bought in under $100, let's just say, it's $115 right now. And with what's coming out, the technologies, the advances, and the ratio to Bitcoin and how that's squeezed down, I mean, Litecoin's ready to pop. I mean, the charts say that. I mean, that's just what it looks like. So let's say it makes a run up. And I hear a lot of things, these channels that you look at, and it's going up, and it's at the bottom of this long-term channel, since the beginning of Litecoin over 10 years. And, it could go to $10,000. If it hits the top of the channel at a certain point. Okay, cool. But, a lot of people are saying, it could easily do it 10 times this year. So let's say it does 10 times. That puts it at $1,100 or $1,000. If that's the case, and you bought in under $100, let that thing go out. You bought in under $100, and you're waiting for that $1,000. I mean, if it hits $500, that's 5 times your money, over 5 times your money. Now, there's probably something you can do with that. You probably have plans for that. You can change your life in some ways with that kind of money. Now, here's where you're going to get into the balancing act. And I saw it happen last year. You can hold it, and it's going to go higher. You're like, I know it's going to 1,000, so I'm going to wait till it goes to 1,000. However, once it hits $1,000, you might not be able to buy the same things that you could have bought with it at $500. If that makes sense. And what I'm saying is, with the way inflation and shortages are right now, you may be better off just to get what you need while you can get it. Because if you wait longer, you might have, you might be a multimillionaire. It goes to $5,000 a coin, let's say. If that happens and you can't buy what you need, what good is it? Because after all, that's what cryptocurrency is. That's what money is. It has to be useful. And if you've got it and you can't use it because you can't get anything that you need, it doesn't do you a lot of good. You're just sitting there counting how many you have. So, you got to look at what you need and acquire that if given the opportunity, because the opportunity might not be there no matter how much money you have in the future, because that product might not be available. It might be, from China. I know, my dad, he ordered an appliance, and there's a thermostat in it. And that thermostat he's been waiting months for, because, you know, the company's got the refrigerator. That's what it is. It's a propane refrigerator. And you've got a thermostat in it, and they can't get that particular thermostat. So the thing's just sitting there waiting to be shipped. And without the thermostat, you can't ship it. You know, they got to put it in. So, you know, it's phone call after phone call. Hey, when's it coming in? Oh, next week. Oh, middle of February, you know. And it's been months like this because, you know, you're waiting, and I assume it's from Asia or China. You're waiting on it to show up. And it's like we saw last year, and I don't know where we're at in that process, you know, where all the trucks were being made and they didn't have the microchips to put into it because they couldn't acquire them. So you got a bunch of trucks sitting around that can't be sold. What do? It doesn't matter. You can buy it, but it's a piece of junk because you can't drive it. You need that chip. So it doesn't matter what, you know, how much money you have. If the product's not available, it's no good. So, you know, just take stock of that and keep that in mind as we go forward, because we're going to see a lot of inconsistencies in the market, I think. And, you know, I was talking to somebody and they said, you know, you know, ground beef's on sale. I can't buy it because there's none in the store. It says it's on sale. And she said, you know, I'm thinking about going in, you know, with some friends and maybe getting a side of beef and a freezer. Buy a freezer and get a side of beef. I said, that wouldn't be a bad idea. At least, you know, you have it. You know where it comes from. You know, so it's always a risk anytime you're kind of waiting for things to go up in price and your investments to pay off, because they may pay off in the dollar figure that you think and that you're waiting for, your target price. But however, you may have a bunch of dollars at that point that you can't use. You can't do anything with. So it's just kind of important, you know, and it makes me think, you know, in situations like this where we've got drifting snow and you can't get, you know, go anywhere because the roads are closed and, you know, schools are closed, and you try, even if you can get out, no restaurants are open, grocery stores not open. You're kind of in a situation where it doesn't matter if you've got money, you can't buy anything. You can't do anything with it. So it's a little bit of preparation, a little bit of, you know, getting it while you can is important. Even if you think, I could probably get it cheaper. You know, I built something, you know, at the peak of the lumber market last year, you know, like in May, you know, here I am in May, June, I'm building something out of wood, a pavilion. And you know, if I'd built it a year earlier, I could have built 3 or 4 of them. It was so ridiculous, the price of the material. But you know what? I wanted to get that built because I had a meetup coming and I wanted that space available. And you know what? I mean, it was time to do it. I was able to do it at the time. And so I did it. And I'm glad I did it. Even though, yeah, I overpaid for the lumber. But the thing is, I've got that asset now here. I've got that, you know, the materials were used and, you know, it got done. So that's important because you can enjoy it now. You can use it now rather than, oh, hey, you know, I'll be able to use it, you know, in the future. You know, I'm going to be able to, you know, once I get it. It's like retiring. It's like you save all your money up for retirement and then you retire and the money's worthless. You know, so you think, well, shoot, I should have just lived while I had the money coming in. You know, I should have done things then. Now I'm too old to do anything, you know, and I can't go anywhere, can't take trips. And so it's just, you know, you don't want to be, you know, live for today and forget tomorrow. I mean, you know, there's got to be that balance. You know, I think there's that balance in all things where you need to, you know, I'm not preaching to you, you know, I mean, you in general. You know, that's the interesting thing about the English language. You know, there's only one you, you know, so when you say, see, here I go. I can say, hey, you, would you stop doing that? Now, am I talking to one person? Am I talking to a whole group of people? You know, they're like, well, you know, talking to all of us, or are you just talking to me? There's no distinction of, you know, individual you versus group you in this English language we have. So that's always kind of a confusing thing. So I like how a lot of people say y'all. You know, it's like, hey, you stop doing that. Hey, y'all stop doing that. So it's just kind of, you know, we figure it out, I guess, as we go. But no, I think we need to really think about those things because you know, this world we're living in is kind of unstable, so to speak. A lot of issues keep cropping up that seem to be beyond our control. So let's try to take control of those things that we can take control of, and in our own lives. And it all comes back to the local. Look for local people who can do the things and get the things, acquire it from them. There might be a farmer that you can go to and you can get that side of beef. There might be, someone that sells eggs, find those people locally that produce those things, and reach out to them, because they're more likely going to have the product than the grocery store. So try and source those things locally, because that's how we're going to thrive. And we can exchange money with them, and you talk to them about crypto and you say, hey, you want to take Litecoin in payment for this? You want to take some silver in payment for this? And you start building that new network, because, the old networks are broken, and we're seeing that. We're seeing the ramifications of a broken, malinvested system, a broken debt system. And we're seeing it, and we're reaping the rewards of it right now, and we're seeing it everywhere we go. So bad things can happen, but you can mitigate those by, just slowly but surely getting prepared, and what you're going to use, so get a little bit extra. And so when you're snowed in, or when, a hurricane hits or storms hit and the power goes out, ice storms, whatever it may be, floods, you've got something that you're going to be able to use. And it's just kind of an important thing. So just don't think that cryptocurrency is going to be the answer at some point in the future. If it offers an opportunity in the present, it's probably a good idea to, take some of that opportunity and put yourself in a better position, so you're more comfortable and you can sleep at night and you feel more secure, and you're not out scrambling for things when everybody else is. You kind of get ahead of the herd, and that's what it comes down to. Litecoin, I haven't talked about it. Like I said, I haven't made a video, but a lot of big things coming. We've got the Mimblewimble, the M-Web has been released into the software, into the code, and it's up to the miners to, quote, signal that they're going to support it, and they will. And if they don't, it goes into effect a year from now. So you wait a whole year. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, it's probably going to be done by, in a few months, probably, definitely by Independence Day. I think it'll be full blown, and we'll have wallets supporting it. You'll be able to send confidential transactions on Litecoin. So more private transactions, to where you can send Litecoin and they're not going to know how much was in the wallet that it came from. And so it's an interesting thing that helps keep Litecoin really the best form of money out there. And that's the way it is. It will be the best form of crypto out there, best form of digital money. It will have all the qualities of, that you need. It's got a scarce supply. It works. It's never gone down in 10 years. It has been, it just works, and that's what it is. And the scarcity factor, I don't think's kicked in a lot of people's thinking yet. We see these coins that are, this went up, it's pumping, it's this and that, but Litecoin's been solid. The team that develops for Litecoin, the foundation, they don't talk about this stuff until it's done. So that's the way to do it. A lot of people overpromise and underdeliver. They underpromise and overdeliver. And I would much rather be involved with a team like that, with a coin like that, because that is, it's sound. It's a sound way to do things. It's legit. So yeah, big things for Litecoin coming. I see it poised as it's going to make a lot of people free. Just know what that level of freedom is, and when you get to it, don't be greedy. Just look at it and say, hey, you know what? Take a little bit off the table and say, I can change my life with it. I can do something with this. I can build a pavilion if I need to. Whatever it is that you need to do, do those things. Get those things that you need to make yourself more free and independent, and so that the ravages and the forces of nature don't take you down. That's about all I've got to say today, but I could keep talking forever, of course, and I will later, because we're going to have a happy hour again. Litecoin Lisa and I are going to have our happy hour. We did not last week. Her father passed away, and, Crypto Nana on Twitter, her mom, Lisa's mom, she's, wish I could give you a big hug right now. So yeah, prayers to Lisa and her family, her mom and their family, for the loss that they had to go through this past week. But we're going to be live today on Happy Hour and on her channel at 4 p.m. Central Time. Go check that out on YouTube. It's also on Twitter. If you follow Lisa Mighty Davis on Twitter, you can you'll definitely see that. And we're going to be talking about all these current events and all the things that have happened and all these people that are losing their jobs and disappearing. Very interesting. A lot of changes coming. So we'll be talking about that. So come check us out. That's always fun. I'll have a few drinks and warm up because it's chilly. So today at 4 o'clock. All right. I hope to see you there. I'd love to see you in the chat. I will. That's it. That's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for giving your time and listening to me ramble a little bit. I appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up. That helps. And, you know, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit that little bell. You know, you'll get notified when I drop a video out there, and hopefully I can, you know, it's giving you something to think about. All right, I love you all. Have a wonderful Friday and have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk again.